What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Minnesota Vikings franchise here in Madden NFL 20. This is year 5's off season, as year 4 ended with a Super Bowl victory, guys. So we won back-to-back, and now we are going into year number 5, hoping to repeat again. So back-to-back-to-back Super Bowl titles, and as you guys can see up on your screen, these are some of our renegotiations and contract signings and things that we wanted to take up before we actually head into the off season and the draft as well. So here's a quick snapshot of what our roster currently looks like heading into year number 5. Some positions that we are looking at to fill in free agency, through draft, maybe possibly through trade. So we got wide receivers. Diggs and Thielen are still around here. Irv Smith Jr. has taken over the starting job, as you guys know, over Kyle Rudolph. Elfline still the left guard. Andrew Thomas left tackle. Got Bradbury locking down center position. Wyatt Teller, Elijah Sitton. So nothing's really changed about this team other than like Ben Kleck being kind of the starter at right end. Anthony Barr, Dylan Moses doing well. Von Miller's coming back. Trey Dean, Hill, Hughes, Long. We could probably use another cornerback at some point, but pretty much the same team is coming back for year number 5. Some positions of need through free agency. We're not really looking at running back, in my opinion. Yes, we could technically go out and sign another guy that's a little bit better than Rakeem Boyd, but you know, I'm looking at kind of like a fourth running back, a depth guy. So we ended up getting Mike Weber from Ohio State. He's a nice ground and pound type of guy. We were looking at Melvin Ingram to solidify that right end position, take over for Ben Kleck. And then we were honestly looking and debating about Amani Oruwariye from the Detroit Lions over Patrick Peterson. And we ended up getting Ingram and Weber. So we did not end up getting either of Patrick Peterson or Amani Oruwariye. Yeah, so let's try to say that 5 times fast. But there's a summary out there on the screen for you guys. So Dwayne Haskins going to Pittsburgh. We've got Juwan Taylor, Olivier Vernon, Ryan Shazier. Solomon Thomas is no longer with us, so we decided to let him go and walk. Just did not have the money or the funds. You guys can see the cap room that we have currently on the books right now, 12.8. So not a whole lot of wiggle room there. Obviously, you want to have a little bit of money left as you are trying to sign your draft picks, but we just didn't have enough money to go out and re-sign Solomon Thomas. So there's a quick snapshot of our draft picks, guys, and just to let you know, the rest of the drafts that we do in this series finale will be all CPU based, so it's all going to be simmed. This draft class, however, I ended up making the pick. So I ended up trading out of our first rounder and acquiring another second. So we got 2 seconds, we got 2 thirds, a 4th, a 5th, a 6th. All those picks I ended up making. I feel like we did some good things there with that draft for year 5, and it's going to set us up nicely for future of this series finale. We also ended up getting Chris Harris in free agency too. Guys, here is our official depth chart of year number 5 as we're looking ahead here to our season simulation. Just a few things to note. Look at all the star dev traits right now on that offensive line. Only Wyatt Teller does not have the star dev. That would have been a nice clean look there on that line. Plus you got Irv Smith at a 82 plus the star dev. Then Kyle Rudolph, of course, you know, he's starting to regress a little bit, you know, in his 30 plus season. Yeah, his 33-year-old self and 12-year pro now. So Irv Smith's ready to take over and take that job from him, and it's going to be another good season for this offense. Seriously, we've got John Ross up to an 81 now. That John Ross speed cheese. Stephon Diggs, X Factor. Dalvin Cook, X Factor. I mean, the offense is crazy. Looking at the defensive side of the ball here, as you guys have noted, Harrison Smith is no longer with us. So it was about time, right? Demetrius Parker has been with us since, I believe, year number 1 when we drafted him. So he's in his 3rd season. And he's got that star dev going on. He's a 77. Taylor Rapp up to a 77 too. So we got a young defensive backfield, or in our secondary. Outside of Chris Harris Jr., you know, Mike Hughes, Holton Hill, David Long, Trey Dean. It's a young group. It's a young group. It's a good group. As far as defensive backfield is concerned. The only thing I have concerns with this season would be the defensive line. So obviously with Ben Cluck, he's finally getting the start. He's finally getting a starting job per se. Kyrus Tonga has been great. Jordan Williams has been great. Even though they're 78 rating, they've been good. And then you got Danielle Hunter here at a 92, so probably our best defensive player on this entire list here. Even I guess you could make an argument here for obviously Von Miller, up-and-comer with Dylan Moses and Trey Dean. So we do have pieces here that I think the CPU will end up liking in simulation, but obviously the big key is going to be our defensive line and how they play to kind of supplement the output that's going to be happening here with our defensive backfield. So overall, good defense. It's currently rated an 83 overall. Actually, our team is rated an 83 overall. And as we back out and we take a look at what our offense and defensive ratings are, 85 offense, 83 defense. Put all those together, they think we're an 83 overall team. We're going to be doing multiple season simulations, but I do want to be able to track where guys go, re-sign some people, and still kind of be a little hands-on with this. But I think the objective right now is just to get through this season, get through year 5, get through the 2023 regular season, and then just see how we do. What changes are we going to make? Who are we going to try to free agent sign? And then, of course, the draft as well. And follow this team through the rigors of a few more seasons. All right, guys, so here we are. We have made the playoffs, but as a wild card team. That's really surprising. Went 9-7 on the season. So I'm curious to see what the heck happened. So we won the division. We tied with the Bears, actually, but we must have won a tiebreaker. I kind of want to see the schedule. I kind of want to see what the heck happened this season with our Vikings. So obviously the preseason we lost every single game, and I did end up playing some of these just to kind of get a feel of who is who and how our rookies were going to do. But pretty interesting season by the looks of it. So maybe we kind of lost some games towards the middle part of the year or the latter half, but the Cowboys beat up on us 24-14. Packers, we got a nice W there. 3-point victory, 27-17 over the Broncos. Got a nice victory over the Lions. Lost against the Chiefs. 1 possession game, beat up on the Panthers. 1 possession game here against the Raiders. 1 possession. A lot of close games, man. A lot of close games with this Vikings team. But Saints, we lost. Bears, we lost. Rams, we beat up on 28-7. So kind of an oddball type of team this year. I don't really know what to make of that. 35 touchdowns for JT Pepper, 73% this season. Like, that is insane. How did that compare to when yours truly was taking control over him? So let's see, stats and contract situation for the last couple of years. 35 touchdowns, 7 picks, 31-8. So pretty consistent, right? I mean, even so, the CPU's playing with them, I'm playing with them, and we're pretty much having the same type of output. Maybe he had more rushing yards. No, he didn't. He didn't have more rushing yards in simulation. That's interesting. All right, so maybe I'm a little bit better with JT Peppers in my control here. So, Raheem Boyd. Wow. Okay, so Dalvin Cook, only 108 attempts. So maybe this is why. Was he hurt? Was he hurt for the majority of the season? Must have been, but Raheem Boyd, 216 carries, only 3.1, and a touchdown, a single touchdown. Wolford Graham had 3 receiving-wise. Nobody got over 1,000, but Diggs and Thielen pulled their own weight. John Ross had a little bit of a letdown season this year with 7 touchdowns and less than 1,000 yards. I think last year, did he get to 1,000 yards? I think he did. And he had a little injury there too, it looks like. Yeah, so he did get over 1,000 yards plus 8 touchdowns. So he's still finding a way to get into the end zone. Less receptions are probably going to equate to less yards on the season, but I think with that fractured foot, I think that's what he had. It's a fractured foot. Yeah, foot fracture. So he must have been out for a long, long time. Let's see, Irv Smith Jr. had 7 touchdowns as well. So that's a good number for a tight end, plus 71 receptions. You're definitely going to take that. All right, moving on here. Let's take a look at our defensive numbers. Dylan Moses almost got to 100 tackles. I want to see, 100 solo tackles, my bad. So he reached 122 tackles. That's got to be, oh man, I was going to say that's got to be way up there. But yeah, he's one of the top 5 linebackers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, top 6. Top 6 linebackers out there. Nice. Good job. Dylan Moses pulling his own weight here. Tackles for losses. I want to see this number here. Kyrus Tonga, 11. Jordan Williams, 10. Look at the number of sacks for Jordan Williams. 16.5, baby. That's right. That's what we're talking about. Remember, I've liked these guys. Even though they're 78 rated, I think Kyrus Tonga and Jordan Williams have been really good for us. Like, let's see the defensive numbers as far as sacks go. Well, hold on a second here. What's going on here? We got 15.5 for Myles Garrett. Where did our boy go? Where did our boy go? Is that a glitch? Was that a glitch? Look at it. He's got 16.5. Where is he? He's not even on the leaderboard. Interceptions-wise, we got Dylan Moses with 4. Wow, he had a Pro Bowl caliber season, man. Pro Bowl caliber season. Taylor Rapp had 2. Trey Dean only had 1. And Trey Dean had multiple interceptions. Yeah, he had 2. He had 2, then he had a pick each for the last 2 seasons. Love it. Love it. Trey Dean has been awesome. Trey Dean has been awesome. Defensive yards, 8th in the NFL, so our defense played well, apparently. Our defense played pretty well. Points allowed, 1st in the NFL. That's good. That's not first worst. That's actually a very good number. Like, look at those points. The Raiders at 464, 305. So we tied for first. Our defense was awesome. Interceptions, 11. We reached double digits up there, so we're right up there with the Browns and the Lions and Cowboys. Fumbles, where are we at here? Vikings, kind of middle of the pack there with fumbles. Sacks, gotta be up there. Yep. Upper echelon, not necessarily middle of the pack, but up there with the good teams. So now that we're in the playoffs, we're actually going to be doing it week by week just to see how our team advances. So hopefully we get this win over the Bears and we can defend our Super Bowl championship from 2 seasons back to back. So we're searching for back to back to back Super Bowls. We beat them 38-28. So let's take a look at the weekly awards here. JT Peppers, 30 of 31. Oh my God. JT Peppers, hats off to you, sir. 1 incompletion. 3 sacks, ran the ball a little bit, 5 for 22, 300 yards eclipsed, plus 5 touchdowns. Gotta love it, baby. Gotta love it. So I think what we need to do is we definitely want to upgrade our players here. We definitely want to upgrade our guys, right? I mean, look at all these dudes. We got to upgrade all these guys to get their overalls up. Boom. Upgrade across the board. Upgrade everybody across the board. 87 offense, 85 defense. Let's get this victory over the Carolina Panthers. This is going to be hard. It's going to be tough. Carolina seemed like they're going to be a good team this year. So may the sim gods grace us. We need a win. We need back-to-back-to-back. That's the goal here. Dang it. Lost 28-12. All right. So it didn't work out for us in 2023. Maybe it will work out for us in 2024. All right, let's take a look at the Pro Bowl roster. I want to see if any of our guys got here. JT Peppers was QB3. It's nice to see him there like that. Fullback, I was hoping that Kendall Kilmer would be up there, but he did not get selected. Let's see if anybody else here. Any offensive linemen for us? No, nothing yet. Nothing yet. Defensively, Jordan Williams. Jordan Williams made it to the Pro Bowl. Well-deserved, well-earned, 16.5 sacks. I think that he definitely should have been selected. But you know who got snubbed, I think? Dylan Moses. Dylan Moses got snubbed there. Super Bowl 58. Let's see who wins. I'm taking the Panthers. I think the Panthers are going to get it done here against the Chiefs. I'm hoping anyway. I want to be able to say that we lost to the Super Bowl champs. Oh, 48-30. 48-30 victory. Man, Carolina just put on a show offensively in the Super Bowl. All right, I am going to go ahead and talk to players renegotiating their contracts, and I will get back to you guys on what we decide to do. So we have a lot of things up on the board here, a ton of decisions that we have to make. And there's a lot of guys that are going to be asking for a lot of moolah. We've got 99.9 in cap room, though. So you've got to be able to make this done. We got to be able to get JT Peppers signed up. And then we might be ready. We might be ready to let Stephon Diggs go and figure out wide receiver at another point. We've got John Ross. We got Mecole Hardman. Adam Thielen is not going anywhere by the looks of it. He's still around for a little while. So, yeah, we might be in the market for another wide receiver. But I think at 30 years old, Stephon Diggs has done his part for this offense. I think we need to save a little bit of money. But I'll be right back. I'll let you guys know what we do. We are definitely wanting to sign JT Peppers. So apparently the fair offer for him would be $195 at 6 years. We're going to go a little bit higher than that because I definitely want to make sure that we get him. So we'll go $215, and if he doesn't accept that, $20 million over the fair offer. I don't know what else to tell you there, JT. So there you go. So he's happy to re-sign with us, and we're paying a lot of money for JT Peppers, but it's going to be well worth it. After signing this deal, we'll have to see where we're at, but apparently the fair offer is 66.9 over 5 seasons. We'll go 70.4, see if he takes it. And there we go. All right. Kyle Sluter, you helped us win a Super Bowl. Might as well come back to be our backup. Colton Yo wants a ton of money to be a bench player. I feel like $14.9 million is quite a bit. And we've already got Kyle Sluter, 7 years for Kyle Sluter. Maybe 65 overall is apparently not bad at quarterback. I mean, you're going to have to pay. He thinks he's a backup. He thinks he's a backup quarterback. Kyle Sluter asked for like $950K. So unfortunately, Colton Yo, I'm sorry, buddy, but I'm going to have to let you go. And we'll probably draft a quarterback. I think we even have Ian Book. Mike Weber as a 4th string running back. I'm not too worried about him. We'll bring him back, but he doesn't want to come here anyway. So, you know what? That's fine. We're not going to overpay for you. Maybe, again, we just might sign another 4th string running back. Here's a good one. Derek Wolford-Graham. He has been great for us, and I think we need to reward him with coming on back here and being our number 3 guy. He's coming back. We're all good there. We got Derek Wolford-Graham. We got Dalvin Cook again, and then the backup, the RB2, Rakeem Boyd. I think we're pretty set at running back. Melvin Ingram was a 1-year guy. He can play another season, but he's a 69 overall now at 35 years old. I think we can address right end somewhere else. Ben Kleck. What to say about Ben Kleck? Good player for us. He has been here through the thick and the thin, and I think we're going to try to bring him back. 12.1 mil. We're trying to overpay a little bit. Because we can. We can overpay. We have a lot of money left to spend. So it's okay. I like Ben Kleck. I like what he's been able to do for us. As far as being a depth guy at right end over the last few years, it's just a good sign. We need to have him still become the starter, still be the starter for this defensive line. Kyle Rudolph at 34 years old. Most people will be thinking, dude, just sign the guy because he's a nice little backup. I would agree with that. He's got to be able to retire a Minnesota Vikings. So let's come on back here, Kyle Rudolph. You're a team captain. But he doesn't want to do it. No, but Demetrius Parker, I want you back. I want Demetrius Parker back for certain, for sure. And signing bonus, like I said, we got a ton of available funds here in order to make this thing happen. And Demetrius Parker, you're going to be locked up for 2 more seasons. Anthony Bard wants to sign with another team, so he's not interested in coming back with us. I even upped his offer from 11.5 up to like 12.1, so he was just not interested. So good luck, Anthony Bard, but we're going to have a lot of changes in year number 6, it seems like. I feel like Mike Hughes is probably the better answer here. Holton Hill was really good for us down the stretch in the playoff run that won us our 2 Super Bowls. But yeah, I think Mike Hughes will be the answer here. 2 seasons getting him, and we'll just kind of see where we're at regarding our cap space. But Hassan Reddick, I think he can play outside a little bit too. So $62.6 million in cap room right now. We can afford it for sure. So let's bring in Hassan Reddick and fill out. Oh, okay. So he's going to free agency. All right. So that kind of sucks, man. So we are not hitting. We're not hitting on some of these guys. Like Hassan Reddick, Kyle Rudolph, Melvin Ingram. Like we said, we don't want to bring him back. Mike Weber didn't want to sign back here either. So kind of sucks, but it is what it is. We still have free agency to look forward to. This is a guy that we can't really miss on. I don't want to miss on Wyatt Teller either. He was a big key cog in our running attack last few seasons. Let's get him up to like 15. Let's get him up to 15. I know people are going to be really mad at me for like overpaying for people, but see, that's what I'm saying? Like, he wants to go to free agency too, so I'm not going to franchise tag these guys. It's just way too much freaking money. But yeah, we've got a lot of freaking work to do. One of the most exciting times of the offseason is free agency, and you know, we probably could have been able to make this thing done with Danielle Hunter when we look at it. You know, $63 million over the lifespan of 3 seasons. We currently have 62.4, I think, 62.5, somewhere around there, where we've got all this space left. But after this move, after this transaction, if we made this move, we would be up to 44.4 or down to 44.4. So I guess there you go. So it's up in the upper left there, $62.5 million to spend. So you could get back into the bidding war for Danielle Hunter. We could have made that move, but you know, at 29 years old, you know, you play for 3 more seasons, you're probably going to start to see a little bit of regression there. Are we getting what we're paying for? I think that we can do. I think we might be able to find somebody that's a little up and coming here at left end, but maybe even draft somebody that's just a beast. But let's take a look and see who is around here. So let's go to quarterback just to get an idea. We're not looking at quarterback by any means, but just kind of want to give you guys an idea of who is out there. We've got Jamarcus Leaf out there. He was a custom prospect in this. Shane Booth II. There he is. So he's in here too. Matt Danger, Ogun blah blah blah. James Worth, Matthew Reno, a lot of Preston Lang. I remember these guys. Beckham Howen, Colton Yo, yeah man, Leonard Hall. A lot of these guys were custom prospects that obviously didn't. We didn't see a whole lot of them. So they rarely ever made a name for themselves in this franchise series. So running back, you know, we're set here. Dalvin Cook is going to get leaned on a little bit more if we can't figure out another, like a wide receiver 2. Adam Thielen's going to be the guy. But yeah, Rakeem Boyd at 75. You know, Derrick Henry, 30 years old, got a lot of mileage on his legs there. So I'm not really looking at another running back. This might be a good sign right here. Corey Karhoff played for the Tennessee Titans, I believe. Let's take a look at Corey Karhoff's numbers. Statistics. I want to see his statistics. Can't see them. That's interesting. I would have liked to see his numbers. I would have liked to see where he's at. But guys, when we look at Dominic Ritzmacher, this was a player that for the Chicago Bears, he had been killing us. And he's pretty darn good. 6'5", a 4-year pro, a superstar as well. You know, he might be a nice little target for us because we don't have a lot of size. He's a slot receiver at 6'5". We don't have a lot of size at wide receiver. Adam Thielen's getting up there, man. 34 years old. John Ross at 28. That's a move where we could probably get away with that and kind of help out this offense that is losing Stephon Diggs. So when we look at what we've got here at wide receiver, so our core, Adam Thielen 6'2", Ross 5'11", Mecole Hardman 5'10", Bowden 6'1", Tanner's 5'11". So we're pretty stacked here at receiver. So, but we got some small guys here. We got some small guys. He was one of our custom prospects as well, so that's interesting. But you know, I'm not looking for Jernigan right now. I'm not looking for him. We've already got Irv Smith Jr. at an 83. It would have been a nice addition to get him in here, but you know, he's gonna cost a pretty penny. Something that I don't think we're really in the market for right now. Blake Stortz, that would be an interesting add as well. Custom prospect. With Wyatt Teller out here at a 77, maybe it's all right if we gave the job to Wakefield. maybe it's all right. We got a 6-year difference between these two players. Normal dev trait for them both. And maybe it's time. Maybe it's time we give the reins over to Wakefield and see how he does. Just throw him out there and see. But we could also get Cameron Jordan, who's got that superstar or that X factor, for 1 season at $13.5 million. And he's going to be a very good player for us in simulation as well. So I think, let's go ahead and do this. We'll be the only team offering him a contract, and he likes it. He likes it, right? It's 96 points. So we could get ourselves Cameron Jordan and be just fine. Defensive tackle, we're fine, right? We got Jordan Williams, Kairos Tonga. I think we're okay there. Right end, we got Ben Kleck. He's been fine. Don't think we need to really focus on that. Julian Aquara at 82 at 26. Asking for a hefty payday, man. 5 years for 48. That's fine. That's all good. That's all good and fine. But, left outside linebacker is leaving us with a little bit of a hole here. So, Dylan Moses, 88. So, he's up there. Can we look for somebody that might be able to move on over to left outside? Dante Fowler Jr.? Let's just try. I know he didn't want anything to do with us. Maybe he comes back, man. Maybe he comes back. 98 points right there. He might. So when we look at cornerback, I mean, we've got Trey Dean here, Mike Hughes, 79, David Long, 78. I don't know if David Long is going to be doing enough to get it done for us with the cornerback number 2. We do definitely need a cornerback number 2. It's just who's it going to be? Guys that we've drafted like Richardson, at 72 years old, 72 overall, 87 speed. That's probably not going to cut it. 87 speed is probably not going to cut it at cornerback. So I think we might try to go after the best cornerback available. So let me see who that was again, just to kind of get that feel. And it's Desmond Trufant. So yeah, 33 years old. Kenny Moore the second. Gary and Conley. Conley wouldn't be too bad either, but man coverage starting to go down a little bit. The thing about Rock Ya-Sin is he's 87 man coverage. That's a lot compared to everybody else that I've been looking at. They're all around in the low 80s, sometimes in the high 70s. I think Rock Ya-Sin is probably my guy for right now. I know that Holton Hill is good too, but he's got that star dev too, a little bit older, only 1 year older. Star dev trait, Holton Hill at normal dev trait, and we're only getting him for 1 season at 4.8. I think that's a win-win for us. I think Rock Ya-Sin would be a nice addition for this team, and 94 points, we might be able to grab him. So negotiations-wise, I think we're doing pretty well. We're going after Cameron Jordan, Rock Ya-Sin, Anthony Barr, so we're still trying to maintain some level of competency on the defensive side of the ball, and then we're going after another playmaking wide receiver with Dominic Gritzmacher. I think he's going to be a nice player. All right, cool. So we got Rock Ya-Sin, got Cameron Jordan, and Anthony Barr, but we did not get Gritzmacher. That sucks. He was the guy that I really, really wanted. So let's go back here and see what we've got still up on the board. And cool. So like I said, we got our guys, our 3 guys, but unfortunately we didn't get the 4th there. Stephon Diggs going to the San Francisco 49ers. Danielle Hunter stays in the NFC with the Giants. And let's see where else everybody else went here. Gary and Conley going to Detroit. And where did my dude go? Here? Gritzmacher goes to Tampa Bay. So Tampa Bay got back into the running there with 104 points. So they upped their offer and went and nabbed him. So that sucks for us. But what are you gonna do? I'm kind of eyeing a guy like Telvin Smith. Yeah, it's $9.1 million for this season, but that's going to do us wonders here. It's going to knock us down to about 28.2. I think that's a good offer for Telvin Smith. He should take that, and then I think that we should be okay. Again, I wanted to give the job to Malik Herring there at 71, but when a guy like Telvin Smith is just sitting there and nobody's really went after him. I think it just makes sense. So we did get Telvin Smith, guys, and just one more quick look at the roster heading into year number 6, and we're gonna do this after the draft anyway. I won't be picking the players. I'm just gonna be doing it on auto sim and see who we get. Who does the CPU say that we need to go after and get? But we did not go out and get a wide receiver. Offensive line stayed pretty consistent this year. Nothing too crazy that happened. Cameron Jordan, we went out and grabbed him. Williams and Tonga. Anthony Barr's back. Moses. Telvin Smith is here. Then, of course, Malik Herring. Like I said, we could kind of move him around a little bit. But at 79 speed, that's not really going to play. That's not really going to play. You're going to be maybe more of a coverage guy. But he doesn't even do that. Zone coverage, man coverage. There's not really a spot for Malik Herring, so he's definitely going to be a backup type of caliber player. Cornerback, we're deep, we're fine there. Defensive back in the secondary, we're okay there. So maybe we're probably not going to go 9-7. We might go 8-8. Maybe we could go 10-6. I think our 12-4 days have gone by, and we've kind of missed that window last year. I think last year we needed to get it done, especially with all of our contract situation. And but we've built this team to a good spot. I think we'll compete again this season, but it's not like it was 2 years ago or even last year, even 3 years ago when we won our first Super Bowl. It's not the same team for sure. Not the best draft by any means, guys. A middle linebacker for our first round draft pick, and he's a 63 overall. Left tackle, we decided to go left tackle at 71. Del Briscoe at free safety, tight end. These are not positions that I probably would have tried to take when we were drafting. And then an 86 overall speed guy with DeMarcus Sullivan, 58 overall player, and then Donovan Beck. Not positions that I would have covered in the draft, but it's all right. It is all right. All right, a brand new season is here, and just another quick look at our team entering year number 6. And it's still pretty similar to what we've seen in the past. Although we did get a offensive lineman, like I said, Dave Ford at 71, so that does help out a little bit. Got Ryan Escobar there backing up center and right tackle. I would assume that our left tackle here, Dave Ford, is going to be a backup right tackle as well, so we're going to kind of shift him around and move him around a little bit. But our defensive tackle depth is not really there, so I think I'm going to have to go out and sign some people through free agency. Middle linebacker, same deal. I think we're going to have to go out and sign people. Cornerback, again, deep there. Parker and Briscoe, Rapp and Jennings, we're all right with safety position. But yeah, punter, got to figure out punter. Got to figure out some depth. We'll do that in a moment. There's some defensive tackles that we signed. Christian Covington. I've always liked Christian Covington, even dating back to my Houston Texans franchise that I used to run in Madden 18, I believe. Malcolm Brown, I like his size at 320, and then Naquan Jones at 350. So these are going to be our biggest guys, plus Kyrus Tonga at 341. So these guys are going to stuff the middle. So I like that, plus Zaire Franklin at an 85 speed on the outside. So I do like his speed. Darian McClellan, he's been around at a 63, but Lucier South, and then, yeah, I think that was it. Malik Herring's now getting pushed down a little bit, but yeah, so just a couple guys on defense that we ended up signing just for some depth. 2024 simulation underway, guys. Let's see how we do this season. All right, guys, so we ended up winning in Week 17, 24-21, but I don't see us in the playoffs. So either we made it to the divisional round or we got bounced from the regular season. We didn't make the wild card playoffs. So let's see where we were at. We were 9-7 on the year, and we didn't make the playoffs. So some things are starting to unravel a little bit here in the series. We just missed. It looks like we just missed the playoffs. And there you go. So we went 9-7 again on the year. Let's take a look where were we at with the NFC. We're 14th in the National Football League. 380 points for, 342 against. And that's going to be right in the middle of the pack on defense. And then points for, we were 380. So we had a top 5 offense in the NFC. And let's look at the statistics here. So unfortunately, I think we're hanging in there, but we just need another playmaker to get us over the top again. That's really showing out how Stephon Diggs has really helped us. So as you guys can see, JT Peppers got a little bit of a downgrade this season compared to other years. 27 touchdowns, 12 picks. First time he's ever been in double digits. Then the completion percentage actually went down a couple percentage points there. So interesting to note, we started running the ball a little bit more with Dalvin Cook healthy, 8 touchdowns, 9 touchdowns. So Raheem Boyd is slowly starting to become the running back of the future here for us. Dalvin Cook now in his 8th season as an NFL running back. I think he's up in his 30s now. Yep, so he's reached 30 years old. So the end of the line is coming for Dalvin Cook. So it's good to know that Raheem Boyd is a guy that can get into the end zone. So that is something to look out for. Mecole Hardman actually led the way for us in yards. 7 touchdowns. Irv Smith had 8. Raheem Boyd had 4 receiving touchdowns as well. So Thielen led us in receptions. Nope. So John Ross had 68. But yeah, so Thielen had a nice final season for the Vikings here in his 12th year. But we're gonna need another weapon at wide receiver, I think, and then we're gonna need to help out JT Peppers in that regard. So sacks-wise, Andrew Thomas was better this season. Elijah's sitting with 5. So our O-line was actually really good this year. Look at the number of sacks we gave up. In an entire season, 13, 18, 22, 25. We gave up 25 sacks all season long. That's insanity. That's really good. It's really good. Sacks, Dylan Moses with 8. Jordan Williams still a beast on that D line, 9.5. And then we have a linebacker with 8. Cameron Jordan is pretty much probably going to be his final season, 4.5 for us. Ben Kleck at 3.5 as well. Interceptions, Dylan Moses had 4 last year. If we remember, Trey Dean had 1 last season, so he's got 2. Telvin Smith, Rock Ya-Sin. So good numbers all around for our defense too. But like I said, I think these back-to-back 9 and 7 type of seasons, we're going to have to add another offensive playmaker, I think, to the mix. Couple Pro Bowlers to look out for here. Jordan Williams made it again as a DT1. Dylan Moses is a middle linebacker 1, so I love to see that. Nothing else for us on the other side here. That's Jabril Peppers, not JT Peppers, but Raheem Boyd, the kick returner for the NFC. So that's nice to see. But what else did I want to show you guys here? Quarterback, of course, JT Peppers, of course, not going to make it here as Jameis, Trevor Lawrence, and Russell Wilson leading the charge there. But Snoop Lion, that's what I wanted to show you, was Snoop Lion. Yeah. One of your guys' custom prospects made the Pro Bowl at an 84 overall player. Congrats. Super Bowl again. The Chiefs are back. It's Chiefs Saints. Let's see who wins. The Chiefs are going to lose again. So they're almost pulling, at least in this series, they're almost pulling a Buffalo Bills of years ago. So 28-34 loss. The Saints beat the Chiefs just like the Panthers beat the Chiefs last year. Crazy. So we've got a lot of work to do again. 23 players up for contract renegotiation. Dylan Moses up to a 90. Trey Dean at an 89, Garrett Bradbury, Jordan Williams. Like, we got a ton of players again coming off the board. A lot of our core players, and just kind of seeing what the effect would be to try to re-sign a guy like this. We're going to be down to about $86 million. And honestly, I think that at this point, we'll give it one more run. That we can try to see if we can field a roster that's going to win us the Super Bowl for year number 7, and then and that'll do it. I think that's going to do it. So let's go ahead and try to re-sign some guys, and we'll be done with our series finale. All right, looking at our player negotiations. So we got Dylan Moses back, Trey Dean is back, Garrett Bradbury is a tough call. I think between him and Pat Elflein, I think that we're going to go with Garrett Bradbury. And the decision there comes from this 90 strength, 78-79 run and pass block compared to Elflein's 75-71. So I think that Elflein is just going to be on his way out, and we're going to go ahead and sign Garrett Bradbury. And like you guys have noticed here, we got Jordan Williams back, Kairos Tonga. Rakusin did not want to come back. Telvin Smith, I'm not going to bring back either at a 34-year-old player. Got Lynn Bowden to come back. Mecole Hardman is back. Rakeem Boyd is coming back. And these other guys that signed one-year deals, as far as just depth goes, we're going to let them go. Ian Book, we could renegotiate to bring him back as well. We do have space. Racy McMath, another wide receiver, a good one, a depth guy at 75. Like you could do that as well. So there's a couple things that I'll do off on the side, but I just wanted to show you who we brought back and who we were kind of questioning at this point. And Elflein, I don't think is really cutting it as far as his numbers go. So I think that the last guy that we're going to go after is Garrett Bradbury, and we're now going to be down to $37 million in contract space, in cap space. So the big thing with this is that what's going to come to play is we're probably only going to be able to sign like one guy. So like one player. So actually Bradbury's not interested. So we'll see him in free agency and see what he wants to do. Wow. Okay. So there's some pretty good players up on the board here right now, guys. We got Bakhtiari. We don't really need Bakhtiari with Andrew Thomas at an 84, and we're not spending that kind of money on an offensive lineman, especially when we do have Andrew Thomas. Actually had a good year last year, but Micah Parsons is up here. He's been a rock solid player in the NFL for his 4 seasons that he's been in here, so not too bad at a 93. Zach Martin would be a good addition. Not really asking for a whole lot of money for one season at a 92, and I think we've got the money to spare for that. We'd be up to a $29.9 million left, so that would be a nice little addition. Zamir White at 87, good player there as well. So, but again, even though we're looking at like an 87, like he would definitely be the guy over Boyd. Boyd's 26. Boyd's 26, so he could probably take over Dalvin Cook once he's gone. But Zamir White, he's a better player than Rakeem Boyd. But do you want to spend that kind of money for a backup running back? Right now, I do not. Snoop Lyon's actually a free agent right now. I think this guy also made the Pro Bowl last season too. So kind of crazy that these players that are making Pro Bowls are now available. But JT Peppers, we currently don't have a backup. We currently do not have a backup, so that's going to be something that we have to address. Running back, again, like I said, not really focused there. Wide receiver, we lost Thielen. We don't have Diggs any longer. John Ross actually went down a point in overall rating. It's going to get to a situation where we need a guy. We need a guy. John Ross is not a guy. You know, John Ross is just, he's a role type of player. He's a slot receiver. Yeah, he can make plays deep. He's a deep threat, but I think he fits more as a slot guy. Get him out in space, use his speed. But we need kind of that guy that is going to be the future of our wide receiver position. Maybe we're going to have to draft a guy because there's nothing really that stands out here for us to be the guy. Maybe we go after Snoop Lyon. That'd be insane, right? 6'4", deep threat. He's looking like a little Plaxico Burress out there. Like maybe this might be our guy, right? Look at his ratings here. 91 speed, deep route 89, medium 89, catching traffic is good. 29th rated wide receiver. He's not too bad. So we'll keep looking. We'll keep looking at the rest of the free agent list here and see what we got. But left tackle, we're good. Left guard, we're all right with Josh Walker. Escobar at center. So this is going to be the big thing, right? We're going to try to sign Garrett Bradbury to come back. Like, that would be ideal at this point. Let's see what he wants with $12 million here. Let's just see. 96 points. That doesn't get us above the Bengals. Ugh. 99. That does get us above the Bengals, so maybe we can hold on there and maybe we can get that done. But Zach Martin would be huge for this offense, I think. Maybe we throw our hat in for Micah Parsons. Like, why the heck not? Why the heck not? It's time to get ourselves a defensive playmaker here that we've kind of been missing. We've kind of been missing in year number 6, right? We had Von Miller, we had Danielle Hunter. We were without those guys for the last 2 seasons, so I think it's time that we go spend a little bit of money here and try to nab a guy like Micah Parsons, right? Bradbury declined and Micah Parsons accepted. So let's see what else we've got. We got $26 million left. Zach Martin is still up on the board, guys. He's still there. We could do this. We could go after Zach Martin still. Little notification, of course. Let's just see what happens here. We're at 26. Where would we be at? We'd be at 13.7. Let's just do it. Let's do it. That's going to be enough space still for us to sign our draft picks, right? I think we'll be all right. So let's bump this signing bonus up. Get him to about 13.5. Let's get him to 13.5 and see what happens here. Zach Martin at 97 points. Dang it. Dang it. Man, oh man, that sucks. We're going to have to withdraw that. We got to be able to sign our guys with the draft for sure. So maybe we can go after a guy like Donovan Campbell, 6'4", 80 overall player. Let's see where he's at out of LSU. 92 strength, run block power, pass block, not too good, but at guard, maybe you don't need to be. Run block is pretty solid. Where's Zach Martin? Probably up in the upper 90s, right? 87 run block, 95 power, 95 finesse. I mean, you get what you pay for with Zach Martin, for sure. He's asking for 12.7. You get him to 14. It still doesn't get the job done. 14 still doesn't get the job done. I hope that we're able to go get Campbell. That would be a good ad for us. Let's cross our fingers and pray. So we did get Campbell. Sweet. All right, let's look at our lineup here real quick. Try to prep ourselves for the draft because we haven't looked at it. But our defense is going to take the next step this season with Parsons, Moses. Trey Dean is being upgraded again. We got Thomas and Sitton. These are very important positions, left tackle, right tackle. Obviously, Jordan Williams has made back-to-back Pro Bowls. Now you got Donovan Campbell at an 80 with right guard. I think the biggest thing for us right now is wide receiver. I really do. I think we're going to have to find a guy that's going to step in and be the dude that takes over this position. Because right now you've got 2 pretty much slot guys, 5'11", 5'10". Lynn Bowden's not... I don't think Lynn Bowden's ready yet to take the next step, right? He hasn't really shown that he is as far as progression goes. William Tanner, these guys do need some playing time, but they're all short. We don't have a deep threat. Like, we don't have like a guy that can go up and get it. We don't have a Kenny Galladay. We don't have a Limas Swede. That's a name for you guys. That's a name for you. We don't have a Plaxico Burress. We don't have a Randy Moss, right? We don't have a guy that's going to out-muscle some people for jump balls. So I think that that's going to be a guy that we have to go after, is try to find a guy with some size, try to find a guy with a nice blend of size and speed, and be the next big playmaker for this Vikings team. So I think not making the playoffs kind of helps us in that regard. So we'll see what we find here. All right, so we are actually at the round 1 pick 19. So let's go ahead and view the draft board real quick. See if there's any wide receivers up here on the board. A lot of defensive guys. We got a 6'2" receiver here, Raymond Chambers, another 5'11" player. A lot of defense, so maybe this is the wrong year to draft a wide receiver. As you guys can see, take a look here real quick. Nobody really up there, man. Nobody up there other than Jakari Span. Runs a 4.5, 6'3". 4-4 for Raymond Chambers at 6'2". He's a deep threat player. The 5'11 player, 6'1", 6'1", 5'10", 6'2". A lot of the other bigger guys are just kind of going undrafted. Again, so maybe it just is kind of a bad draft in order to be looking at wide receiver, because we do have a lot of defensive players like defensive tackle, linebackers, strong safeties. There's the 2 wide receivers right there, Span and Chambers. So they're probably not going to be around by the time our pick comes. See our selection at number 19, and yeah, our wide receivers are gone. So that sucks. That sucks. Oh man, I was really hoping that they would still be around. 6'2" Dion Reese. One's a 4'4". We can't take a wide receiver here, guys. You just can't do it. It's just not in the cards. It's not in the cards for us right now. Quarterback. We only have 1 on the roster. It is JT Peppers. We're not looking to draft another quarterback at this point. Guys up on the board here. Juan Dorsey. Maybe this is something that you'd want to consider here. Rakeem Boyd is 26, so how many years he's got left, not quite sure. Defensive tackle, Paul Cornelius. You've got guys like Jordan Williams, Kyrus Tonga. We don't necessarily need a defensive tackle. Thomas in 84. Right side would be Elijah Sitton, so we just don't need a tackle. We don't need a tackle either. So we might have to trade out of this pick. Might have to trade out. We might have to trade out of this pick. There's just nothing that really stands out to me other than taking Paul Cornelius. Their strong safety, don't necessarily need one of those. Cornerback, guys that are falling into round 2. You got another guy, Victor Richardson of Florida State, deep threat. 5'11" again. Tiny dudes, dude. Draft recap. Here we go. Fingers crossed. Did they do a good job? Oh, what? What? Why? Took a left tackle. Raheem Stark. Guy's not going to play. We took a left tackle with the first. Oh, man, this sucks. John Brenner, has he got size? He's got size at 6'6", but he's a 56 overall, so it's what's the point? Ay. Not a good draft again by the CPU, man. Left tackle, don't need him, man. Don't need him. We got Elijah sitting at a right tackle, and then we've got Andrew Thomas at left. So just kind of weird, just weird stuff the CPU does, man. Weird stuff, but it's all right. It's all right. Backup quarterback, we're gonna have to solve that in free agency. But again, running back, my favorite 3 guys here: Cook, Boyd, Wolford Graham. That's gonna be fine. But I was really hoping wide receiver would be up on the list for us. We got, oh my god, and we also drafted this guy last season. So CPU, man, they just don't know what to do. They just don't understand how to draft. All right, so it actually turns out that Racey McMath was kind of our deep threat guy that we ended up not re-signing out of pure accident. So Racey McMath, come on back, baby. 75 overall receiver. I think you can play. We could use you. Wow, what a turnaround from last season. So obviously preseason doesn't really mean all that much. But we won all 4 games, so I like the look of that. Our team was doing a little bit better than last season, so maybe this season's going to be different. Just a real quick look at everything that I was doing off screen, guys. We ended up getting Cam Newton here on a 1-year deal to be our backup quarterback to JT Peppers. So really the offense doesn't really take a huge hit, right? So JT Peppers kind of in the same mold as Cam Newton, maybe a little bit better of a passer. Definitely a lot younger. But Cam Newton will still bring that steadiness that the offense needs from if Peppers gets hurt to Cam Newton. Offense not going to be all that crazy different schematically, but wide receiver wise, again, just kind of sucks that we still just don't have a guy that's going to be kind of a deep threat other than Racey McMath. I hope that he can kind of get in some action here. I did make some changes to make sure that he is on the depth chart. Like right now that he is, I think the 5th wide receiver on this list. So he will get some more playing time, probably above Lynn Bowden, but we'll see how it all shakes out. But Irv Smith at an 85, Andrew Thomas there, Josh Walker getting. So we got a young offensive line now. Donovan Campbell at right guard, sitting at right tackle. So I think, and then speed rush is going to be an issue with Jamal Strait here at a 72. Frank Clark. Yeah, we've been kind of avoiding left end, right end for a couple seasons. Robert Nekamdichi there, defensive tackle. Anthony Barr, a lot of progression loss. Paul Wilkerson, we ended up signing here in free agency from Kentucky. That's a custom prospect for you. But we're really going to be trying to lean on our defense this season with Trey Dean, Parsons, Dylan Moses, Parker's a team captain now. But yeah, it's not going to be. It's just not the same. It's just not the same team as it once was. We've had to work through some things. We capitalized on Thielen, Diggs, Anthony Barr's younger years. Harrison Smith was still around, so we've faced a little bit of adversity here in the last few seasons with all of those guys leaving. But our window was open. We saw it. We won a couple championships, and now it's starting to try to rebuild again. And I think this year maybe will be better than last year, but we'll have to see. Unfortunately, guys, we did not make the playoffs again for the 3rd straight season in simulation. We went 9-7. And it looks like Mike Zimmer retired on us, so he's no longer the head coach of the Vikings. I think it just was time for a change. He'd been there for a long, long time. And after 3 straight 9-7 seasons, I think the Vikings organization is just going a different direction, which is kind of a funny way to end the series, really. So Mike Zimmer brought 2 Super Bowls to this Vikings faithful, and in a window of 7 years where we were competitive, we were highly competitive, consistently making the playoffs, consistently being a team that's probably going to make some noise in the NFC. But we missed the playoffs again this year because teams decided to tie each other quite often. So we had the Cowboys tie, Cardinals tie, Ravens tie, of course being in the AFC. We want to look at NFC here real quick. So Cardinals tied, the Cowboys tied, Packers tied, Eagles tied. I don't know who played who, but it doesn't matter anyway because the Vikings lost out. Probably had we gone 10-6, we would have made it, right? We would have made it. So unfortunately, again, Vikings just quite not good enough in order to get it done. So statistics-wise, where were we at with some of our players? JT Peppers, 28th in the NFL, 28th in passing yards. Single digits in interceptions, 69%. So, again, 27 touchdowns for JT. So we're just not putting the ball in the end zone like he had been so used to doing in the very early stages of his career. 35 touchdowns, 31, 35. And now back-to-back seasons of 27 and less than a 70% completion percentage. So obviously that a lot has to do with that because we just do not have a wide receiver that's a big-time target. Now, John Ross and Mecole Hardman are good receivers, but they're not big-time targets. Dalvin Cook over 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns. Derek Wolford-Graham also had 7. And then this is interesting. William Tanner really took a big step forward. 4th season in the NFL, 5 touchdowns, almost 1,000 yards, receiving on 53 receptions. So that's a big-time playmaker right there, William Tanner. So maybe if we ended up doing 2 more simulations of this, maybe William Tanner becomes something. John Ross took a little bit of a back seat this year, just a little bit. Mecole Hardman matched his production there, 767, 722. Irv Smith, 6 touchdowns. And I was really looking forward to seeing Racey McMath get some action, but he didn't even see a single catch, which is just not even realistic, guys. It's just not real life. It's not real life. You'd think after like 5'11", 5'10", your receivers are all under 6 feet. You want to get this guy out there. You want to get him out there. He would at least have a couple catches, right? Yeah. JT Peppers was protected all year long, too. Nobody had double digits in sacks allowed. Defensively, Dylan Moses, again, was an absolute beast. 4 interceptions for the middle linebacker, 4.5 sacks. Jordan Williams, 8.5. Parsons was 7.5. So he was a big get for us this season. But it looked like our defense actually turned the ball over quite a bit. Taylor Rapp with 2, Mike Hughes with 2, Trey Dean with 3 picks on the season. I would not be surprised if he made the Pro Bowl. But yeah, our defense turned the ball over a lot. Maybe it was just the offense again, could not put the ball in the end zone. I don't think we had a double-digit guy. We didn't have anybody in the double digits other than JT Peppers, which is just natural. Your quarterback gets into double digits. We didn't have 10 touchdowns on the ground, and we didn't have a 10-touchdown receiver, which is, it's asking a lot to get in double digits with receiving touchdowns, but you would have still liked to see something of that sort to help out the offense. But guys, 21st in offensive yards, 13th in defensive yards, so just kind of middle-of-the-road offense and middle-of-the-road defense, and just did not get it done. Just did not get it done again this year. So, guys, that is going to be it for the series. We're going to go all the way to the Super Bowl. I'm going to sim to the Super Bowl, and we're going to see who's in it. But I just want to say thank you guys for continuing to show out. This series was never consistent when we first started it. I had started it late in 2019. Waited a couple weeks for some slider sets to come out and kind of see what the rest of the YouTube community was doing with franchise mode, what teams they were picking and whatnot. I had really anticipated that this series was going to be something bigger than it was, and I was really ambitious with it. I really wanted to do something really, really special with it, especially getting your custom prospects, a ton of your custom prospects in the game. And I wanted to do something really, really fun with this, and it just really never materialized into anything that would be memorable. For some of you, this series probably was memorable. For me, it's always going to be memorable because I do like my Vikings, and it was a fun series nonetheless. JT Pepper's career, watching him grow behind Kirk Cousins and beating the Cowboys and getting past our rival, the Chicago Bears, and getting past our rival, the Dallas Cowboys, and finally making it into a couple Super Bowls. Of course, our Super Bowls had to be against the Jets and the Browns, so obviously that's never ideal. You want to play somebody that's going to be, memorable. The Jets suck in real life. The Browns are on the upswing, but it was a fun series nonetheless, and I hope you guys really enjoyed it. And I just want to say thank you that you guys stuck around for not only an old game, but a franchise series that just, like I said, was just never very consistent since the get-go, since I very first started this series. This was something that happened in 2019, late in the fall. My daughter was born in November of 2019, so of course, as you guys know that have been around for a while, you know that kids take a lot of work, and so does work. Jobs take a lot of work. Other series takes a lot of work too. The XBA had a lot of views going for it at that point in time. So it was more like, what am I going to do? Am I going to do a Viking series that gets 300 views, or am I going to do an XBA series that gets 12,000 views? You know what I mean? So at that point in time, XBA was doing really, really well. Vikings fans and you guys that continue to come out here and watch this series, I appreciate you so very much. It's kind of crazy to see that people still want to come out and watch a series with an old game, and B, something that has been kind of hit and miss and very spotty as far as upload schedule goes. So guys, that is going to be it for this series. I hope that you really enjoyed this thing. Maybe in the future I do another Madden thing. Let me know in the comment section below if you'd like to see something on Madden 21. I know Madden 21 is basically going to be old. It's going to be old news now that we're moving into next gen, and we're pretty much moving into Madden 22 here within probably the next 6 months. So maybe if you want to do something quick and easy in Madden 21, let me know. Maybe like a relocation franchise or something quick, fun, and easy. That would be kind of fun to do. But I got some things planned for Caden Walchek, Road to Glory from NCAA 14. But as you guys know, I've been very, very skeptical of Madden 21. I know that it just sucks. I get that, but I had to get it. I had to get Madden 21 for the Caden Walczak story because you guys really love that thing, and you know, we want to see how he does in his pro career too. So I've got the game. If you guys want to see me do something with Madden 21, that'd be awesome. That'd be fun. Probably not a ton of gameplay on that, just because I hate Madden gameplay. It's just so bad. It's just not football. It's not football. If we want to do something simulation based, like, I think that would be kind of fun. But yeah, let me know in the comment section if you'd like to see something like that. Other than that, guys, that's going to be it for this series. Browns and Redskins in the Super Bowl 60. Nice even number to end this baby off on. And let's see who wins it. I'm kind of hoping for the Browns. To finally do it. Get a Super Bowl win. They did it. They did it. They doubled up on the Redskins 35-17. That's a great way to end a series, man. If the Vikings can't win a Super Bowl, maybe the Browns can, right? So America's new team, right? So that's actually really funny. Cowboys were our nemesis all series long. America's team, as they're known. And then the Cleveland Browns end the series with a Super Bowl victory, a team that we played and we beat. The Browns finally get back to the Super Bowl, and then they win it, of course. So America's team, America's new team, the Cleveland Browns, beat the Trevor Lawrence-led Washington Redskins. Guys, that is going to do it with a semi-heavy heart. I say goodnight, I say goodbye, I say farewell to all you guys that have been watching this series in the Vikings franchise series on Madden 20. Thank you again for all of your love and support of this series and myself. Leave a like if you like this thing, and I will see you in the next one. As always, peace.